And I know a lot of you people might don't want to hear this, but I'm going to say it anyway. And that is, a lot of times and oftentimes we want things to change in our communities. We want things to change amongst the students and amongst the da'is, amongst this. But we have to call a spade a spade. And we have to recognize what we're dealing with. In order for us to be able to change and be able to move forward and to progress, we have to recognize what is what. And why is I'm saying this? I'm saying because for years it has been this stamp. This has been this thing where as though we feel that we are Muslim by who we associate ourselves with. We are Muslim by what masjid we go to. We are Muslim by what clothes that we wear. We are Muslim and our religiosity is based upon all of that. All right? Who do we take from? And all of this stamps and approves our ilm. All right? Now, you have to take from sound means. We know that. All right? You want to make sure you take from the sound means, those means that take from the pure and trusted Salaf. We understand that. But you have to recognize that there is a such thing in Islam as fanaticism, brothers and sisters. And there are radicals in Islam. Not just people on irhabiyya. Not just people who are on terroristic stuff. Not just people who go extreme. They are radicals, but then there are radicals amongst people who proclaim to call to this pristine dawah. There are radicals. There are people who have no regards whatsoever to let their tongue loose, to let their pen loose, to attack other Muslims, other callers, call them innovators, call them people who are mumayyir, tell people to stay away from them, abandon masjids, don't pray here, don't go there, your Salafi is in question, your Islam is in question, you upon this. And they have been doing this for years. Years upon years upon years. They have been doing this. And for years, we always try to say we're going to take the middle course, which is noble to take the middle course. But when you're dealing with fanaticism, there is no middle course you can take. You do what Allah tells the Prophet ﷺ to do. Lasta fi shay'in. That's what Allah tells Muhammad ﷺ to do. It didn't tell him to do anything other but dissociate himself from that fanaticism. You don't have anything to do with them. That's what Allah says. Lasta fi shay'. You have nothing to do with them. Those who divide and break up their deen into schisms, into hizb, into different sects and different parties, you have nothing to do with them, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You're with the Jama'ah. You're not with those who split away from the Jama'ah, those who tarnish the Jama'ah. You're not with them. Lasta fi shay'. And you have to understand that. You're not playing no middle course because you decide that you want to listen to the radicals and you want to listen to people who's the radicals talk about. So you say to yourself, well, yeah, I'm in the middle course. See how I don't go against this group and I don't go against that group? Man, I let them bicker amongst themselves. That sounds good. But the reality is one group is poison. You understand? And I'm not even talking about group this or that. But I'm just saying poison is poison. And you have to recognize that. Poison is poison. And if you're going to keep listening and keep taking that poison in, it ain't going to do nothing but affect you. You can't say, oh, I'm going to take some poison and I'm not going to get affected by the poison whatsoever. How can you do that? You can't do that anywhere. You can't, I don't know nobody can say I'm going to take some poison and the poison is just not going to affect me. I don't care. No, it don't work that way. It will affect you like it has. How many people you know that you no longer can speak to because you went to a lecture that has someone else on a panel that the other group didn't want? How many people you know that you can't even deal with because you go to a certain masjid that you ain't supposed to go to, they no longer deal with you? We just seen wives and husbands split because of this. We just seen family members actually become on odds because of this. And how many times they have to stick in our face that we are dealing with fanaticism, radicals who wants to actually go in so far of pitting their brothers off of the deen of Islam. That is major to me. And I'm sorry, I cannot associate, deal with anything if I find any brothers or sisters wanting to put another brother or sister out of the fold of Islam, wanting to take them and tarnish them and take them away from Islam. Where does that make any sense? At all, it doesn't. Do you understand? You will find Ibn Taymiyyah, as Ibn Qayyim, his student, said about him. you will find Ibn Taymiyyah, the one who written so many rududs, refutations against bid'ah. I'm telling you, he was a thorn in the backs of the people of Ahlul Bid'ah. But Ibn al-Qayyim described the way that he was with the people upon innovation. You will be shocked that Ibn Taymiyyah was courteous. He was kind. He even went to their janazah. Do you understand? He even went to their janazah. There's one report that he even went to the house of one of his staunch enemies who was completely upon bid'ah. And after he passed, he gave his condolences to the man's wife. This shows you a level of understanding. But this is not being promoted. None of this is being promoted. Everything else is being promoted. Yeah, you know, we don't listen to this. We take an athar. We don't hear this. Bid'ah this, get in this. No. Ibn Taymiyyah refuted all types of bid'ah you can think of. But think about it. He still showed a level of mannerism with the people upon innovation. Where is this at? You don't see it. You know why you don't see it, brothers and sisters? Because you have to recognize something. Anything that's haqq is going to be clear. Anything that's not haqq is not going to be clear. No matter how someone dress it up. If it's not clear to you and you cannot see it pressed in and they are not presenting it in that way, then know for sure that something is wrong. Haqq is haqq, brothers and sisters. We need to stop supporting fanaticism. We need to call out radicals for what they are. We don't have to be contaminated to that poisonous fruit. I don't want it. Don't share it with me. I don't care if Fulan and Alan got 1 million lectures going on. Do not send me one lecture. I'm not going to listen to it, and I'm telling you, don't send it to me. Because I understand radicals. I understand fanaticism, and I have my dalil. I don't want that. You're going to send me someone I'm going to listen to that's going to promote Islam, going to promote the Sunnah, and it's not going to promote a strange idea or concept that this brother is on it and this brother is off it, and that this masjid is on it and this masjid is off it. I don't want to hear that, because the true people of innovation is left unharmed. You're not a thorn in the side of the true people of innovation. You're a thorn in the side of Ahlul Sunnah. And this is where you have scholars at the scholars. When we had Sheikh Falah come here, say the same exact thing on 27th Street. Rahmatullah ta'ala alayh. The Sheikh came and explained. You don't use the manabir, the minbar, to refute Ahl Sunnah. Many cases, recorded khutbahs, refuting one group of brothers who ascribe to the dawah. You're doing it. The Sheikh is saying the same thing. The people that were sitting around the Sheikh, I was just shaking my head, because as I'm sitting there, I'm looking at the Sheikh indirectly talking about these individuals. This is what you guys have been doing. Refuting one another on the minbar. Saying this brother is not on it, this brother. And then he breaks down the ahkam. He breaks down the qawaid, the principles, how we engage and how we debate with Ahl Sunnah. How we deal with Ahl Sunnah if they make a mistake. How we deal with Ahl Sunnah if this occur, that occur. But everything don't have to be to that point. You find individuals saying, yeah, okay, I'm telling you, such and such is an innovator. That scares me. If a person says that loosely out of their mouth, that scares me. I want to get away from that person as fast as possible. That scares me. Because if you can say, and if you don't know this, saying someone is an innovator, right, is the twin brother is still saying someone is like takfir. They both hold the same ruling. I want you to understand this. Takfir and tabdi' both are sisters to one another. They both hold the same ruling, man. You can't just jump out and say so-and-so is an innovator. You have to have some dalil, man. You have to have some dalil, and it have to be clear-cut, and you want to be real clear that you are not the one qualified to make that statement. It's going to be level to Allah and His Messenger. You're going to allow the ulama to do a thorough investigation. They're going to try to advise the individual. They're going to try to see what bid'ah is being committed. They're going to try to see if they can get to the bottom of it. You don't want an individual being placed with that. So I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to allow us to get rid of the radicals and to recognize the radicals and stay away from fanaticism and do what Allah told Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, lasta fi shay. You have nothing to do with them who break